I am Lena Prima. I am a singer, and I live in New Orleans.
I'm Big Sam Williams from New Orleans, Louisiana. You know, born and raised right here. I play the trombone, as you can see, and I like to funk things up.
My name is Herlin Riley, and Joe Lasty and I are first cousins. My grandfather would actually show me how to play these rhythms with using butter knives on the kitchen table. You know, he'd wipe the knife off and say, now here. It would be like a game.
We kind of learned from each other when we was coming up. Like he was doing that beat there, and I don't know if Herlin remember this beat that he showed me, and it stuck with me until today.
And my dad's Louis Prima.
Sing, 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 sing. Everybody.
For me to be listening to these great songs, and then the person who recorded them is my dad, and he comes home every day, and it was just so exciting. That feeling of the lights and the people were all smiling, and just, it was such a joyful experience for me.
When I was 19 years old, I found out I was the great-grandson of Buddy Bolden, and it just blew me away. He was that guy. So to find out about my lineage to him, it's just, can't believe this connection. I'm playing the funk, but before the funk, you had your Louis Armstrong, you had your Buddy Bolden. Buddy Bolden's impact is all over the world, man. You know, you ask anybody affiliated with jazz or just music in general that knows like New Orleans history, they're gonna tell you it all started with him. Man, his impact lives in all of us. It's gonna keep growing. And after me, who knows what's gonna be next? There are a lot of legendary families here in New Orleans, you know, from the Hill family to the Andrews family, Baptiste to the Boudreaux, the Lasties.
Every culture around the world is defined by the rhythms that's played. So New Orleans is the only place in North America that really has its own defining kind of beat or groove, as we want to say. And I think it's a direct correlation during the time of enslavement, Congo Square. Congo Square was the only place in North America where slaves were allowed to have drums and to come together and to play and to have these drum circles and play and dance. Fast forwarding, you know, to my own childhood, I was taught to play the drums by my grandfather. And in being born in 1902, he came from a certain kind of style of playing that was more kind of like ragtime or early traditional New Orleans jazz.
So in New Orleans, what we do in the brass band world, we start with traditional first. So you learn all of the traditional songs and you play that. Then whatever you decide to do after that, that's on you. But that foundation is going to be trad. You dig what I'm saying?
During the time of my growth and development and youth coming up, there were a lot of traditional brass bands. There was the Olympia Brass Band, the Tuxedo Brass Band, the Onward Brass Band. They were all brass bands that played for different functions around the city. One important thing that they played for were traditional jazz funerals. There's a groove that we play here in New Orleans that's definitely a part of the music that we hear around the world, and that is the bambula beat. Boom, 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 boom. You can hear that in Brazilian music, you hear that in African music, you hear it in Middle Eastern music, you hear it in so many other styles.
My dad, growing up with him as an influence, started working as a singer, and I've been working my whole life as a singer. I just love it and feel so comfortable doing it and like it's what I'm supposed to be doing. The joy in his music came from being born and raised in New Orleans, because whole style and his whole attitude and everything and the way he was such a character, that's a New Orleans trait. So it all still comes back to New Orleans. I try to make sure that I am carrying on that legacy, not only of quality in music, but also the love part, because I feel like that's really his legacy, is love. And through music and bringing people joy, that's what I'm trying to do when I'm performing, and is just, be a blessing to the people that are coming to hear music.
It all started in the church. So when I'm playing, you know, you get the spirit. That spirit hits you, you could do almost anything.
Even though things evolve, it should be still connected to the root. And I think that's very important, that we be able to pass on the information and the knowledge that we've gained over the years to younger people.
What's so special about, you know, being right here in New Orleans? Because when I was coming up, cats was looking out for me to, hey, check this out. Or, here, check this mouthpiece out. Oh, you can have it, man. You know, like, yeah, you're gonna like this, you know? And that's just what we do, man. It's such a loving community, you know what I'm saying? And we gotta do what we gotta do, you know? Paying it back and somebody else is paying it back, we're all good. We're gonna keep this thing going and it's never gonna die.